Hi folks, I'm James. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the markets. I had a long live stream yesterday, so if you missed that, I'll link that at the end of this video. And I want to go through a couple of things that are moving very quickly, including Bitcoin, metals, stocks, and natural gas, and a couple of other things. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. This worries me a little bit, the fact that we're hugging the trend line, and that we've had so many touches on this very neat long-term trend line going back to the beginning of April. So, trend lines don't last forever, and when they do get multiple touches on them, like we've seen here, and combined with a decrease in momentum, as you can see, we're getting closer to the trend line, closer to the 20-period moving average. If you put on a stochastic or an RSI, you'd see there would be divergence there too. So it's possible we'll retest the 100K mark. That's this big level over here, the big psychological number. And of course, there are other levels below us. Here are the moving averages. There's a CME gap at around 96,000, which may need to be filled. So a little bit of a caution there. I've just trimmed off a wee bit of size on my Bitcoin long trades, and I've still got an MSTR trade to hedge that, which we'll talk about shortly. I've also got long positions on Ethereum and XRP. Ethereum's holding up pretty well, and XRP also just dribbling down towards its support. We're right on the confluence of the 150 and 200 period moving averages here on XRP and into this big order block. Now, some people are saying alt season's about to start. That may well be the case, but we've got to get Bitcoin going before some of these altcoins in general, even if the altcoins sort of outpace Bitcoin for a while. So just to reiterate on Bitcoin, be prepared for a drop down to the 20-period moving average. The flat bottom here at about 107,000, and possibly is a better word, down to 100,000, the big round number, and another flat bottom. If that fails and we get a close beneath there, allowing for big spikes down and back up again, as Bitcoin is wont to do, be careful of that sort of thing. But a close below here would take us probably down to 96,000 to close that CME gap. All right, so that's all the cryptos and Bitcoin. We're still short on gold, still long on silver, and still in profit on both of these. We're also long on copper. Gold is ticking up a wee bit today, but my target remains the same down to this block here and the blob down around about 3,000, just above, just below, or at a stretch down to 2,700 or 800 into this order block and my next blob. At the same time as being short on gold, you can see our positions there. I'm also long on silver, and this is also in profit. The gold-silver ratio seems to be edging back in the favor of silver. And I think overall silver's got a better chance of a rally while gold potentially pulls back or at the very least consolidates. We're also long on copper, and this is a purely technical play, and whether the economy can support a higher copper price or not, I don't know. I suspect it can. Bouncing off all the moving averages. We went long a few days ago at this green arrow. You can have a look at the price on the right-hand side of your chart. And we now need a break back above the 50-period moving average and the swing high and that one and this one to get going. And I do believe we could get copper well above $5.50. So we're long on the industrial metal, long on the industrial combo investment metal, but short on the pure investment metal. Switching across to currencies, we're long on the euro. I expect the dollar index will drop eventually down to 93, pushing the euro, the single currency, up to 1.1850 and potentially 1.2 and maybe slightly higher. Apart from the long position on the euro, I also have a long position on the Aussie dollar, allowing for this sort of symmetrical pattern. Go and have a look at the live stream to see my thoughts on this. I'm already long on the Aussie, but I'm allowing for this right-hand side of this sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern to continue across to the right until we've got a roughly symmetrical pattern. And any dips down to these channel lines I consider as buying opportunities, either the top one or the bottom one. Notice where the moving averages are too. We've also got a short position on the euro yen. This has not changed for quite some time, and basically it's a technical play. Bull market rally, bear flagpole, bear flag, and the next move down should be equivalent to the size of the bear flagpole down to about 144. So going across the stocks, I'm short on the Nasdaq, the S&P, and the German 30. You can see our positions. I'm going to hedge the Nasdaq trade if we break above this recent swing high here at about 21,500. We're still in profit on the S&P, looking for this to move down. And I've also got a new order to sell the German 30 right up against that trend line. The reason for this is we've got a long-term channel on the German 30. We haven't left this channel for about 3 years. And we're right back near the top of the channel now. We've already got one short position in there. We haven't quite actually touched the top of the channel, so I'm allowing for that, and we don't have a full position. I'm going to add some more over there. Notice what happened last time. We had repeated touches of the channel top before moving down. We could see the same sort of thing now. And we'll find out as the markets open a little bit later on. I'm also short on QBTS, and I've explained it's quite a complicated, pretty fast, rapid-fire trade. I've explained that in the last video, so you can go and check that out. Right, on natural gas, no changes since yesterday's video. We got short, of course, at the top here. After the roll, we're still short. We've moved back up into that order block. I'm looking to add more shorts. We're still above the 20-period moving average on the 4-hour chart. The Henry Hub futures contract rolls over today. My chart has already rolled over. This big bull candle here is not actually a candle. That's the rollover gap. It's just the way this chart shows it. and we're trading right up here now. We already have a short position from over here. Have a look at the price on the right hand side of the chart, and we're now moving down from that order block again, making or attempting to make a double top against that level there. And also notice the spike high candle that put us into this trade in the first place. We have not yet closed or broken above that level so far. So we're still short, waiting for a breakdown below the 20-period moving average and this channel trend line top to add some more to our short position. It's not a full position just yet. And my target is $3.40, $3.25, and then eventually $3 and maybe a fraction below. I'm also short on WTI oil, and there's not much to say. We've been moving sideways for this entire week in a very, very tiny range. Nothing's actually changed. Target for WTI is a move back down to this double bottom and the channel bottom, and then eventually a breakdown below there into much lower levels, into the abyss. It's a bit squonky and squished up, but down into these levels here, potentially below $50 and potentially even below $40. Not much to say on the dollar South African rand, just going sideways. A little bit of a pop yesterday, nothing much. Very strange chart, as I keep on saying. Don't even really want to talk much about that. It's pretty boring. The US 10-year yield is continuing to move down several days in a row now, as we see TLT moving up, and we have a very small long position on TLT. Once again, I'm pretty much bored with this trade. Not much to say, and I'll probably just get out of break even again. Softs and grains, the ones that have moved. Cocoa, we're still short. That popped up a wee bit yesterday, just up to sort of the 618 fib of this candle and back down again, and today's still holding pretty well down. And we're still short on coffee. That's also moving down. Target, first of all, channel top, then the channel bottom, and then below that into much lower levels, probably about 240, 220, something like that. Apart from that, we're still long sugar, long corn, long coffee, nothing on orange juice, long wheat, and nothing on soybeans. And that's a wrap, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck with your trading today. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. Consider joining the channel. There's a join button below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Yo, she's trading meme coins at 3:30. I'm scalping breakouts off BTC. She's got hype, I got my edge. Trend line bouncing off my fib retrench. Wick to the downside, baby, I'm there. Snipe that entry like a Boston flared hair. No guessing, no stressing, I trade with poise. Volume building like disco noise. Yo, you that trader, Wick Hunter, baby. What's that stop? Never too crazy. Woo.